A very happy evening to all of you who are here with us today to delve on something very pertinent in the present scenario. The talk is going to give us meaningful insights on how to maintain sanity in these insane times. Now, for rest of the proceedings, I hand over the baton to Vidit Jain, the Muse head. Over to Vidit.
Thank you, ma'am. I am Vidit and I am here to elaborate on the purpose behind holding this seminar. All of us would agree education today is synonymous with degrees, securing maximum marks, and attractive placements that causes unavoidable anxiety and even suicides. We still keep our fingers crossed on the new education policy. You need a different kind of resourcefulness to deal with daunting challenges of life. How you will handle yourself and others. This is the new yardstick to assess people. In short, we need to have emotional resilience. Creativity and innovation flow from ideas with multiple perspectives. We need to have an open mind that embraces the new and the unfamiliar. With violence, anger, abuse, assault replacing the tenderness and security of interpersonal relationships, the terrain of mind is in turmoil. The dysfunction display of passion can tip the balance of society. If we take charge of our mind, if we take charge of mind, we take charge of our life as well. This will certainly promote personal growth, robust health, and a higher academic achievement as well. Today's webinar deals with all that can cause trauma, anxiety, and how to deal with these negative emotions. Let's share our feelings and get empowered from within. The webinar shall certainly arouse the seed of mindful present in all of us conscious, subconscious, and sprout out. I promise that it will change the negative impressions into positive and also water the neighboring seeds of compassion, care, love, friendship, and togetherness. Here I would introduce Taranum, our moderator, who is going to navigate us through the webinar. Over to Taranum.
Good morning to all. Darren would like to welcome you all to a peer counseling webinar from Human Being to Happy Being, organized by Happy Club in collaboration with the Mix. This webinar aims at helping you in coping with some very common things that affect all of us. And hopefully by the end of this webinar, you all will go back to equipped to combat them all. Now, not taking up any more time, I would like to pass on the mic to Kurkiran.
Hi everyone, I am Gurkiran. I have never talked about this to anyone openly, but today I'm going to. When I was in class 6, I was teased by my fellow classmates on the basis of my complexion. Kali Kaluti Bengan Luti. Blacky black smeared, she robbed the color of an eggplant. My classmates would taunt me whenever they wanted to have a laugh at my expense. I would laugh along as I wanted to fit in the crowd. As I could not meet up with the so-called standards of light skin, I had very low self-esteem and I started hating and criticizing myself. I remember 3 to 4 years back, I just stopped buying all yellow-colored clothing because I thought I looked too dark in them. But now I'm over it. Every day I stand in front of the mirror and tell myself that my beautiful brown skin is the best accessory I wear, and now I love myself for who I am. This is how I became body positive over time. Now when I wear yellow, I stand in front of the mirror and say, "Good Kiran, you're a freaking glow stick." As soon as you're about to criticize yourself, stop and think, would I ever say that to a friend? The answer is probably no. You are your own friend, so be kinder to yourself. When you look in the mirror, point out all the things you like about yourself, even if they seem small. Something that I did to help myself love my body was every day if I stood in front of the mirror and I started to poke and pull out my flaws, I would pick up twice the amount of things that I loved about myself. Slowly but surely it went from I hate the way I look right now to damn, I'm beautiful regardless. You know, every skin is beautiful. And you know what's not beautiful? Your opinion on somebody else's body. I think freckles, stretch marks, tattoos, bruises, birthmarks, scars are probably the coolest things. You started off like almost a blank canvas and look at you now. All this is evidence that you've lived and the sun has shone on you and you've grown and maybe tripped up a few times. But you liked an image so much that you made it a permanent part of yourself. You can be a different shade than the others or have acne and still be beautiful, because who really defines what is beautiful? Just remember, you're born to thrive and not survive. Why would you all want to change something as beautiful and as complex as your body when people cannot change something as simple as their minds? Always remember, low self-esteem is like driving through life with your handbrake on it. At the end, I would just like to tell you all to stop trying to fix your body. It was never broken. Your body is perfect just the way it is. Now I pass the mic to Kalpa.
Thanks, Gurkiran. Last night, as I was scrolling through Instagram, I came across a post put up by one of our DAV students. It read, Top 15 hot and cute girls of current class 12th batch and top 15 handsome boys. My question to you is, what is cute? What is beautiful? What is its definition? Because every time I modified my body to satisfy that definition, a new category came up. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kalpa, and today I, with my co-presenter Gurkiran, am going to talk about body image. What is body image? Body image is how you see yourself when you look in the mirror, how you perceive your height, your weight, your shape. It is not about what your body actually looks like, but rather how you think it looks like. Implication, it affecting your mental health directly. Do you know how many percentage of teenage girls feel dissatisfied with their bodies right now? Okay, just take a wild guess. It's a huge number. It's 77.6%. On a rather extreme level, 6 out of 10 girls are choosing to drop out of activities simply because they think they don't look good enough. Okay, think about the times you might have dropped out of activities such as dance or basketball just because you thought you'd be perceived a certain way. But what would it mean for that girl to be freed from constantly nagging voice, to have leaner leg, shorter nose, flatter stomach? It would mean being herself, honest and healthy, of being able to stand up, play, experiment and invent rather than worrying about her looks. Okay, girls and boys, let me tell you a little secret. Billion-dollar industries are feeding off your insecurities. Let's do a little brainstorming. Girls, think that you're totally comfortable with your body hair. Imagine, what would it mean? No more waxing, no more razor cuts, no more pain for stupid hair that are simply going to grow out again. And what about wheat? It would simply go out of business. No more media pressure, no more standards for you to live up to, and so much more time for productive things and so much more love for your body. When you love yourself, you stop looking at others with the critic's eye. Everyone is beautiful. You are so beautiful. Okay, enough of the talking. Let's get to the part of what you can do now. Step 1. Stop being so picky about the things that you post on your social media. Your social media is not the corner of your house where you place your trophies and certificates. It's a place where you connect with like-minded people. Post your highs and post your lows. Step 2. Unfollow, block, mute, delete, repeat. Unfollow the influencers that make you feel unaccomplished, bad, less, ugly. Mute them. Mute the people who are actively criticizing you. Block and repeat. Step 3. Talk to your friends. Express how you feel when they point out something in your body. Talk to the little ones around you. Set a precedent for them. Tell them what's the reality. Step 4. Stop asking questions like, stop asking for reassurance from others. Like, do I look fat in this? Step 5. Start looking at your bodies like an act of rebellion and rebel. If possible at all, stop waxing your body hair. Stop skipping meals. Seriously, talking here, skipping meals is the stupidest thing that you can do in order to lose weight? Okay, in the chat box, Rohit sir is going to drop a link that will provide you access to some cool resources and people on Instagram that you can follow. Okay, check it out. And next up, Rohit sir is going to play a video, a slideshow created by Gurkiran. Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to pass the floor to Simrit, who's going to talk to you about emotional stability.
Good evening, everybody. I am Simrit from class Plus 2 Commerce A, and today I'd like to talk to you guys about emotional stability. So, what is emotional stability? Easily speaking, it just means to have a control over all your emotions. You just know what's going on in your mind, right? So, take an example. If you're in an adverse situation and it's everything, you are stressed, you have deadlines, the thing is, your brain is still calm. You can actually figure out what chal kya raha hai mere dimag mein, and that allows you to critically analyze the situation and actually bring out a very practical solution out of it. I'm going to give you an example. Suppose you have to submit an essay after a week. It's for a scholarship, so it's super important. And you have this weird flux of emotions because number one, it's super important. You cannot skip this. Number two, stress, confusion. Pata nahi kya kya chal raha hai. It's just jumbly and you have no idea and you're unproductive. You are not able to find resources. The thing is, just sit down and you think, मेरे दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है? हाँ, I'm थोड़ा सा stressed, थोड़ा सा anxious, बहुत सा confused. You just know आपके दिमाग को क्या चाहिए उस time पे. You understood what your emotions are. Now analyze the situation. This is a very important essay. What can I do now? What can I do is that मैं आज रात को I'll start collecting the resources, and yes, by day after tomorrow or something, I'll complete an essay. See, 4 days to review the essay and to chill out peacefully. You're productive, you figured it out, and you were no more anxious. This is what emotional stability is. You're positive even in the worst of the situations. But a lot of people think that emotionally stable means being positive 24/7. No, you should feel negative sometimes. You should feel positive sometimes. The thing is, you should be balanced. You should be stable. Now, let's come to the point. How do we actually become emotionally stable? It's easy. It's nothing difficult, okay? Thing is, step number one is to recognize your emotions. To know, ये मेरे दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है? What is my brain thinking about right now? See, facing your emotions is a very scary thing for a lot of people, but trust me, it's worth it. Just try to do it once, and I'm pretty sure you like it. Sit back and think, what is the situation and what am I feeling right now? Feeling stressed, confused, anxious, what is this? Usually क्या होता है कि हमारी situation इतनी सी होती है, and क्योंकि हमें पता नहीं होता क्या चल रहा है, and all this confusion, hotspot, we just thinking this anxiety and we start taking pills and कुछ नहीं पता चलता, we are unproductive. No, it's nothing. इतना सा होता है and हम इतना बड़ा बना देते हैं. Sit back and think, and you'll probably figure it out. Just know what is causing this trigger in my mind, what is this stress, what's causing this, and I'm pretty sure you'll figure it out. The second step is to communicate. It's so dreaded, a lot of times I feel so scared. Oh God, I have to communicate. I have to talk to people about my emotions. Scares you, right? No, it's scary. I know. It was scary for me too, and a lot of people who are now emotionally stable. The thing is, just talk. Don't bottle it up. Say me. We always see these cold-hearted, characters on TV like Rosa Diaz, and we think it's cool to bottle your emotions. It's not. You're gonna harm your mental health to a point. There's gonna be no comeback. So just tell, express. And I'm gonna tell you this number one reason why we usually don't communicate with people. We think कि सामने वाला क्या सोचेगा. I'm gonna get very honest with you. Nobody cares about you. It's not because you're not important. No, it's just that we all have so much going on in our lives. We have our own problems, we all have our own stress, our work, and our deadlines and stuff. We really don't even have a second to spare for somebody else other than us. So the only person and the only person who wants to give time and who cares about your life is you, and it should be you. So just stop. I'm gonna give you a very simple example. It's a personal example. So I'm dead scared of weighing machines because I feel like, oh my god, my weight, oh my god, my weight is increased. Pata nahi kya ho raha hai, shit, I won't fit in my clothes. And weighing machine just scares me like anything. So the other day, my mom came up to me and she was like, you're gaining a lot of weight. It's gonna have a toll on your health. So let me just order a weighing machine from Amazon. And I cannot tell you what was this feeling I had. I was completely blank for an hour. मुझे समझ ही नहीं आ रहा था. Shit, there's gonna be a weighing machine in my house. My anxiety is gonna be quadrupled, and I have no idea what to do. I was very scared. So I just sat back. I did the first process, the first step. I recognized what am I feeling right now. I am very anxious and I'm stressed. And yes, I recognized. The thing is, मैंने इसे bottle नहीं किया. मैंने अपने emotions को अंदर नहीं रखा. I just straight away went up to my mom and I was like, Mama, यार, please, can we skip this for now? बाद में order कर लें, please. She was like, okay, but why? And then I told her, I'm anxious. I'm feeling stressed. I don't want it right now. She was like, okay, there's no weighing machine in my house. See, this is how communication helps. Just talk. Just talk. I'm telling you, it's gonna do wonders. अगर आप बात करोगे ना, if you just tell somebody about your emotion, आपकी problem वहीं solve हो जाएगी आगे. The thing is, this one mistake we always make while communicating is that we always expect yes as an answer. Like I got a yes from my mother. Okay, yes, we won't get this weighing machine. No, just don't do it. Like start expecting no as an answer. हमारी expectation अगर हम कम रखेंगे ना, so I think we'll be more happy. And your main point in communication is to get those, this rolled up emotions, get that confusion out of your mind, get it straight outside. वो तो हो गया ना, कर्म करो, फल की चिंता मत करो, बस अपनी बात सामने रखो. That is the point. Don't care if somebody says no or yes. वो बात की बात है. पहले just talk. The third step now I'm going to talk about is to make sure that what you have communicated. See, अगर आपने सामने वाले को कुछ बताया है, make sure that he actually understood your point. A lot of times we ignore this. तो मतलब जैसे ये है कि जो आपने emotions रखे हैं, you kept them really raw and complete. सामने वाले को आपकी situation A to Z पूरी समझ आनी चाहिए. A lot of times we ignore this point. We think that communication तक ही we did a very strong task. It is a strong task. You did well. But इसके बाद हमें नहीं जरूरत अभी. नहीं, make sure all what we need to our problems is a solution. And you never know that one stranger or your mother or the person you're talking to or your friend may have this one line solution to the biggest problem you're facing. And that is all what you need at that time. And it is only and only possible अगर आप उसे अच्छे से अपनी problem को बताओगे. And here is where the first step comes in place, to recognize your emotions. The fact that you are well versed with your own emotions, अगर आपको पक्का पता है कि हाँ ये है जो चीज मुझे feel हो रही है, then you will be able to express better and you will be able to find a solution better. So make sure every and anything is linked with each other. So now I'm going to repeat the 3 steps again. First is to recognize your emotion. Second step is to communicate. And third step is to make sure that what you've communicated has reached the samne wala person very well. Cool. Now it may seem like मैंने तो बातें कर दी of emotionally stable. It's so difficult to even recognize, come in terms with your demon. It's usually known as coming in terms with your demons, and it's very hard coming in terms with your emotions. Sometimes you're scared to feel some, emotions. But trust me, it's gonna take time. It's gonna be so worth it. पहली बार नहीं होगा, दूसरी बार भी नहीं होगा, तीसरी बार भी नहीं होगा, 5th or 6th time, so I guarantee you हो जाएगा. And you won't even realize that when you started to acknowledge your emotions, when you started to talk to people about it, and how peaceful you are from your past self. Just give it time. Know what your mind wants. Know what your body wants. Just give it time. जितना time दोगे अच्छा है. And you should give time to your body, right? Just keep in mind that you are the master. You are the one in control of your emotions. Your emotions are a part of your mind. You are not a part of your emotions. You can and you should control your emotions. Just keep that in mind. You're the master and keep on breathing. Just breathe in and breathe out. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to rock it. Because I trust you all. And you all are amazing. Thank you. And now I'd like to pass the mic to Tushar.
Hello, deviants. Good evening. I, Tushar Mahajan, from class plus 2 Commerce A, a proud member of Happy Club and The Muse, I'm going to share a shairi with you all. I won't take credits, and it's possible you must have also heard this before when Ayushman Khurrana posted it on his Instagram. So, gentleman किसे कहते हैं? You know, मर्द का एक stereotype है, बड़ी माचो वाली हाइप है. वो घर चलाएगा, वो लड़की को बचाएगा, वो रोएगा नहीं, वीक नहीं होगा. मुझे लगा ये तो कुछ ठीक नहीं होगा. मुझे ना हीरो, ना सेवियर, ना सुपरमैन बनना था जो रो सके, जो गा सके, किसी को बचा पाए तो बचा सके, ऐसा मैन बनना था. मैं हिंदी में सेंटी होता हूँ, पंजाबी में गाता हूँ, ऐसा मैन. टाई बांधना मुझे आज तक नहीं आता, पर खाना ठीक ठाक बना लेता हूँ, ऐसा मैन. तुम्हारी इंग्लिश स्लो है या फास्ट है, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. तुम गे हो, स्ट्रेट हो, तुम्हारी क्या कास्ट है, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. आई नो that the ads have told you to play it too cool and your fathers ask you to be disciplined as you are always in your school. उन्होंने बोला कि जेंटलमैन बनो, बट ये भी बोला कि मैन का जेंटल होना खराब, क्योंकि तुम्हें तो ऑनर बचाना है, जादू वाला परफ्यूम लगाना है, उसी से तो लड़कियां तुम पर मरेंगी. पर मरेंगी क्यों? उन्हें मरना नहीं चाहिए. मैं जहां हूँ, जहां खड़ा हूँ, उन्हें डरना नहीं चाहिए. पिंक और पिंक फ्लॉयड के बीच में वो कुछ भी पसंद कर सकता है. अंधेरा ज्यादा हो तो वो भी डर सकता है, क्योंकि वायलेंस उसके साथ भी हुआ है. पैट्रियार्की ने उसको भी गलत तरीके से छुआ है. वो जल्दी बड़ा होने के बोझ के नीचे बड़ा होता है. दिल उसका भी 300 ग्राम का ही होता है, पर उसके ऊपर एक सोशल कवर चढ़ा होता है लोहे का. उसे बस, कार और गन जैसे खिलौनों में मत बांधो जब वो बच्चा हो. जरूरी नहीं कि ड्राइवर अच्छा हो सकता है मशीनों के काम में भी कच्चा हो, पर मर्द होने की इकलौती शर्त ही सच्चा हो. अब ये भी जरूरी नहीं है कि मेरा पैशन गिटार हो, कूल हो, मेरे हाथ में लड़की के लिए फूल हो सकता है मेरे पास लंबी गाड़ी हो या मेरी लाइफ की हर एक राइड कूल हो. तुम्हें पता है, मैं अपनी छोटी बहन को कई बार संभालता हूँ. माँ थक के आती है तो जिंजर वाली चाय भी बनाता हूँ, क्योंकि 6 पैक से नहीं बनते हैं मर्द. ना ज्यादा कमाने से बनते हैं मर्द, ना ज्यादा चिल्लाने से, ना आंसू छुपाने से बनते हैं मर्द. किसी और को ठंड लगती है तो दिल उसका भी सर्द होता है, कि जिसको दर्द होता है असल में वो ही मर्द होता है. तो गाइस, इससे आपने और मैंने क्या कंक्लूड किया? मैंने ये चीज आज की रियल लाइफ से खुद अपनी पर्सनली रिलेट करता हूँ, तो मैंने आपको ये बात बोली, सुनाई. देखो, वी लिव इन अ फेमिनिस्ट सोसाइटी, राइट? सो why it is wrong for a boy to cry or to express whatever he feels? It's totally okay, 110% okay. Whenever you feel like do anything, like you want to wear pink clothes, you want to cry, you want to express whatever you feel, it's okay. So just chill and express what you want, okay? Now I want to pass the mic to Vidit Jan.
Real men don't cry. Stop acting like a girl. Come on dude, man up. I think ये सारी बातें सभी लड़कों ने कभी ना कभी तो सुनी होंगी, है ना? मैंने तो बहुत बार सुनी है, इसलिए मुझे लगता है आप लोगों ने भी सुनी होंगी. Well, I am Vidit Jan and I am presently heading Team Muse. So let's begin. We live in a patriarchal society where men are pictured as strong, powerful and emotionless. Why? Because they have to protect their families. We live in the age of feminism, yet as soon as a man breaks down, we don't even spare a second before catcalling him womanish or unmanly. Boys from a very tender age are taught to suppress their emotions. They are told not to cry because no one will like to see a boy cry. Boys grow into men who are often less open about their emotions in comparison to women. But the unavoidable kicker is that boys do feel sad. They do feel sad. Yeah, मर्द को भी दर्द होता है ना भाई? You know, the thing is that boys also feel sad and girls too. But we are not allowed when boys express themselves, they are subjected to insults such as mama's boy. I think mama's boy, everyone has heard it, right? You know, boys don't express themselves. That is why they are more likely to be prone to depression than girls. According to Smartens in Ireland, men are 4 times more likely to take their own lives than a woman. Okay guys, let me ask you a question. Ask yourself, when was the last time you cried? I think girls will say they cried last night and boys probably don't even remember. But why this is so? Women, all the way from childhood, are allowed to express their emotions, but boys are not. Right? I think this is right. We should understand that crying is not crying is not a sign of weakness, but what it is a way to express oneself. गाइज अगर आप अपने इमोशंस को एक्सप्रेस ही नहीं करोगे तो वो आपके अंदर ही रह जाएंगे. एंड बॉयज वैसे भी किसी के साथ कुछ शेयर नहीं करते हैं ज्यादा, तो आई थिंक दिस इज द रीजन व्हाई दे आर मोर लाइकली to get in depression than girls. Okay, let me share my experience with you guys. Last year, I was in a state of depression. Certainly, I can call it depression. And, I would cry every minute, every second. But, people will come to me and tell me, whether be bold, be strong, move with the flow. But I never minded what they said because crying gave me satisfaction, made me feel better. So शायद यही एक वजह है कि मैं आज आप सबके सामने बैठकर ये सब कुछ बता रहा हूँ आपको. लाइक सबकी लाइफ टफ होती है. वी शुड नॉट अक्यूमुलेट इमोशंस इन वन सेल्फ. अगर उसको अक्यूमुलेट करते रहेंगे तो वी वोंट बी एबल टू मूव फॉरवर्ड इन लाइफ. सो आई जस्ट थिंक दैट बॉयज शुड बी let express their sadness and have a cry every now and then whenever they feel it. Now I want to pass the mic to Punya.
Good evening, everyone. I am Punya of class +1 non-medical, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about happiness. What is happiness? Happiness is much more than or simply a yellow smiley face. It's a feeling of truly enjoying yourself and the desire to make very best of it. Happiness is so important in our lives that it has its own field of research called positive psychology. Experts in this field have found that there are key things that make people happy. But before listing the keys, I would like the audience to answer a question. Everyone, how many of you wants to be happy? I repeat, how many of you want to be happy? Please give a quick thumbs up. So I see most of us wishes to be happy and only wishes to be happy. Rohit sir, please display the first slide. We all wishes to be happy and only wishes to be happy. But what we actually do to stay happy? Let's see how good we are at increasing our happiness. Well, we certainly try. Next slide, please. Just look at this. And we say we try to be happy. By misbehaving with our parents, our teachers, by indulging in violent fights, cheating, or use of unfair measures during exams, or anything of that stuff that puts us in trouble makes us happy. Happiness is not simply the absence of misery. Next slide, please. It's a fact intuitively obvious to anyone who has ever felt happy. We might tell ourselves that only things were different, then I'd be happy. But that's not how happiness works. Another major cause for our unhappiness is we have learned helplessness. We have stopped making efforts to grab happiness. For instance, in a circus, when a baby elephant is tied with ropes, it tries a lot to free himself. But because of lack of strength, when he fails, it gives up. And even when it grows up as a giant elephant, it never tries again. Because of the simple thought in his mind, it will fail. But we all know it can achieve happiness of freedom. Same is the case with us humans. Apart from it, some people have a naturally happy nature and some don't have. But that doesn't mean they can't be happy. Researchers have found that more than half of happiness depends on things that are actually under our control. So what are the key ingredients of happiness and how to use them to become happier? From minor challenges to major crises. Stress is part of life, and while we can't always control our circumstances, we can control how to respond to them, starting with the keys to unlock happiness. And I'll be sharing that what all could be done when you are feeling sad or stressed. Next slide, please. So next one. Focus on your breathing. Just focusing on your breath or changing the way you breathe can make a big difference to your overall life. Everyone, please sit in Sukhasana by just folding your legs. Close your eyes and take a long deep breath. Breathe in, hold, and relax. Try taking long deep breaths whenever you are feeling sad or stressed. Try doing it 5 to 6 times in a day, and I really believe you're going to feel so much amazing and relax. What else you can do is start doing chanting. Whatever mantra you like, Om Namah Shivaya, just chant it by taking long deep breaths. Put your left hand on your stomach and push your stomach a little inwards. Then breathe in and chant Om. You can try doing this 3 to 4 times a day, and you're going to feel so much relaxed. Nextly, what you can do is identify what brings you joy, satisfaction, and engagement. Then make resolutions that include concrete actions that will boost your happiness. And finally, keep your resolutions. Focus on a different subject every month. 12 months in the year would provide 12 slots to fill. In the first month, attempt only January's resolution, and in the next month, add next slot to that resolution. By December, you could probably score yourself. So next slide, please. If you found it interesting in whatever I explained in this key, you should must refer the book titled The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin to know more. Furthermore, start caring for yourself. The simple reason behind it is, जो अपनी खुद की केयर नहीं करता, लोग भी उसकी केयर नहीं करते. Start loving yourself, start caring for yourself first. Apart from it, whenever you are sad, give a hug to a loved one. Physical touch can do a lot to relieve your stress. Moving ahead, start doing pre-mortem. Now what it is? It means that we look forward to see what all goes wrong in our life and try fixing it. Or simply start finding what often troubles you or put you in a stressful situation. Work on it to overcome it. I would like to quote my example. जब जरूरत होती है सम्मान नहीं मिलता. Reason क्योंकि वो सही जगह पर रखा नहीं होता. So I found a solution for it, designation of things that are easily lost. Particular spot for a particular thing, and it really worked. And the last key is develop a positive self-talk habit. Next slide, sir. The way you talk to yourself matters. Harsh self-criticism, self-catastrophic predictions aren't helpful. It's important to learn to talk to yourself in a more realistic, compassionate manner. In a nutshell, I would like to say that happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, only if one remembers to turn on the light. Thank you. And now I would like to pass the floor to Avishka.
Thank you, Punya. So, very often we find ourselves stuck in a situation where we know exactly what the problem is, but do not know about the solution. You know, why is that? Because our mind is already so busy thinking about the problem that there is no place for a solution to arise. So, what can you actually do to clear your mind during that phase? I'm going to tell you what helps me. Hi, I'm Avishka Sood from class 12, and today I'm going to talk about art therapy. Art therapy, a basic term and a very basic procedure. It basically includes activities like painting, dancing, music, collaging, photography, doodling, etc. But it does not mean that you need to be very artistic or creatively talented to take part in this. And I'm going to tell you about some of the activities that I enjoy doing when I'm in a bad place. And if you feel like trying some of them, I've got you covered. So one activity that I love to do when I'm feeling low is photography. Once you set your foot out in the nature, there's so much beauty around that you automatically feel like capturing it, and you feel blessed to be present there at that moment. You will definitely enjoy photography if you are into nature. Another activity that I'm sure we all love to do is listening to music, right? Come on, we all know that. But what different can you do with it? You know, as it goes, if you want to change your mood, change your music. Try listening to different genres, different languages even, and I'm sure you'll find more than one topics of interest. My personal favorite activity is painting. Whenever I'm feeling low, sad, depressed, or alone, or any such kind of feeling, my sketchbook becomes my best friend. I just let my pen and paints flow, and the result never fails to amaze me. And through that process, I always get to know a little more about myself. There are many such activities, but I cannot list them all. If all of this is too much work for you, what you can simply do is write your thoughts down in a diary. Just don't let your pen stop, not even to find the right words. And once you read the page when you are done, I'm sure the result will amaze you. If you feel like trying some of this stuff, just find the links in the resource booklet mentioned by Sir in the chat box. There are some PDFs related to watercolor, mandala art. Mandala art therapy is actually a scientifically proven therapy that helps you relax when you're feeling anxious or sad, and it is a wonderful, wonderful therapy. I love to draw mandalas. So, next time you feel like you're stuck, listen to some music or just get your notebook and you can actually feel negativity flow out of your pen. Keep know what makes you happy and make your own happiness. Thank you.
Okay, seems like there's a connectivity problem right there. We can now move on to the second event of the day, which is anonymous Q&A. I hope the panel, Principal Ma'am, Sonika Ma'am, and Harsh Ma'am are ready. Now let's move on to the first question. The first question, which is anonymously asked by the first participant, is that they are feeling confused between choosing studies and pursuing their own hobbies. They know study is important, but they want to do their hobbies because they feel free, they feel happy. Panel, what is your recommendation? Please, some connectivity problem.
Yeah, so I'll repeat myself. I was saying that there has to be a balance between studies as well as hobbies, as both are equally important until at least some limited period of time. But if you study just because of the sake of competition or just to get ahead of everyone in your class, then the purpose of it remains unfulfilled. Until you actually want to gain the knowledge, there is no point in studying. So try to gain that curiosity about studies as well as hobbies.
Thank you. Next question. That the second participant is feeling that lockdown they're not feeling happy and neither feeling sad. They're not good at studies, neither good at any hobby. What does the panel suggest them to do?
First of all, this is a pandemic and not a productivity contest. So the truth is we can accomplish work on some days while it's a struggle to get anything done on the other days. So जरूरी नहीं है कि जो हम चेकलिस्ट रोज बनाते हैं वो हमारी रोज की रोज पूरी हो. अगर एक दिन हमारी चेकलिस्ट पूरी नहीं हो रही तो that does not make us a bad person. So we should go with the flow. We should breathe in and breathe out and relax and do our work day by day.
Alright, thanks Devi. Let's move on to the third child. They ask what to do when people around you have so many qualities and you feel sad. They have so many qualities which you do not possess also. How can I feel good about myself? Panel, the question is all yours.
Okay, so if people around you have better qualities than yours, then you need not to be like sad. Okay, like अगर कोई आपसे better है, you should get motivated. उससे अगर आपको कुछ सीखने को मिलता है तो सीखो. In case you feel low, then जो आपसे like अगर आपके ग्रुप में आपके आसपास 5 persons हैं जो आपसे better हैं, तो there may be 10, 20 और 30 जो आपसे weak भी होंगे. Okay, so if you feel low कि हाँ यार मैं like ऐसा इनों के बराबर नहीं हूँ and all, you can go and talk to them. और आपको खुद लगेगा कि यार मैं चलो अगर मैं कुछ लोग मेरे से बेटर है तो मैं बहुत बेटर हूँ. और मैं if I give my personal example, जब मैं एग्जाम में देने जाता हूँ, like मैंने सारा पढ़ के गया हूँ, मेरा सारा एक बार रिवाइज करके गया हूँ. ओके, मैं जाता हूँ वहाँ पे अपने टॉपर फ्रेंड्स के बीच में बैठता हूँ, बात करता हूँ, सारे बात कर रहे हैं यार मैं 4 बार रिवाइज कर लिया, मैं 5 बार कर लिया, मैं सारा लिख के देखा 4 बार एंड ऑल, है ना. I might feel sad. यार shit यार मैंने सिर्फ एक बार करा, इतने अच्छे हैं, है ना, इन्हों के बहुत अच्छे नंबर आएंगे and all. But then what I do? जो से लाइक मेरे फ्रेंड्स हैं, लाइक जो पढ़ाई में उतने अच्छे नहीं है, मैं उनके पास जाता हूँ, कहता हूँ भाई और तैयारी है, एंड दे से कोई कहता है यार 2 चैप्टर छोड़े, कोई कहता है 1 चैप्टर छोड़ा, कोई कहता है यार ये वाला पार्ट ही पूरा मिस करके आए हैं। तो मेरे को अंदर से होता है कि यार ये बहुत मतलब एक कहते हैं ना जो फीलिंग है कि हाँ मैं अगर कुछ लोग मेरे से बेटर हैं तो हम भी बहुत ज्यादा लोगों से बेटर हैं। सो अगर आप अपने से बेटर लोगों को देखते हो तो टेक इट इन अ पॉजिटिव वे, उनसे सीखने की कोशिश करो, डेफिनेटली इट विल हेल्प यू इन फ्यूचर। बट इफ यू फील लो देन यू कैन talk to your people, you can talk to the person who are lower than you.
Nicely answered, Bhaiya. Let's move on to the fourth child. The fourth child ironically asks about this event itself. They ask how to concentrate things that are being motivational lectures. Keep in mind, I do not have a long attention span.
I would like to recommend that when you're in जब आपको जब भी आप कभी यू फील लाइक कि हाँ मेरे को मेरी कंसंट्रेशन नहीं बढ़ रही, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थिंक, टेक अ डीप ब्रेथ, रिलैक्स योर ब्रेन, रिलैक्स योर बॉडी, then have after a short time span like maybe 2 minutes, you focus there and have a long break. I personally recommend when I feel lack of concentration, I have a coffee with a soothing music that helps me to relax the mood. In the break you should have anything that makes you relax, so in this way you will have the concentration.
Thank you, Stevie. The next question asked by the fifth participant is, does mental health affect your brain's different abilities?
Okay, I would like to answer that one. Yes, it obviously does. If your mind is already preoccupied with things, it's going to affect your thinking capacity. So like Simrit suggested in her speech, you need to analyze the situation and find a solution in order to think well.
Thanks, Stevie. Let's move on to the next question. How to overcome the feeling of dreadful depression? This is again asked by anonymously, somebody I don't know. Panel, the question is all yours.
I'd like to answer that. See, a lot of times, I said this in my, when I was talking, I talked about how a lot of times this confusion and this cluster of emotions, we misunderstand it. We just don't know what's going on. The thing is, it's not depression. You are just, you're confused. And it's okay, everybody feels confused. I feel confused all the time. You don't feel you're bad for feeling confused. No, it's okay. So what you can do is to just sit down and think, this is what emotional stability is, You just think, what emotion is in my mind? Abhi main kya soch raha hu? And honestly, it will just turn out to be some stress or confusion or some anxiety. Then it's definitely not depression. And I'm pretty sure if you think upon it and you work upon it, you can actually overcome that stress and confusion. It's cool. Just think and take care of those 3 steps I talked about. Cool. Done. Thank you.
All right. The next question seems a little serious, so I would directly address Harsh ma'am. And the next question is, the participant simply writes, I have suicidal thoughts. Ma'am.
Thank you, Arman. Yes, it's quite normal to have those, and they're, in fact, not only as a child, as an adult also, all people mostly feel and have these thoughts. And the reasons could be various. But first of all, the only thing that you could do firstly is validate your thoughts. Is it what makes sense for you? It's a very tough question to answer, especially when asked on such a big platform. If you really feel that, I think you should get in touch with somebody who can validate your feelings. Ask yourself, is this what makes sense to you? Is this
I am going to do suicide.
Is this the only way? And be curious about the idea that you have to ask yourself the right questions by just being curious. Whether is this what you want things to be like? What is going to happen before this or after that? And yes, you have to tell people around you you are vulnerable. Okay, vulnerability and accepting vulnerability is a very, very important component of feeling low and having self-harm thoughts. Share it with a friend, share it with the family, share it with anybody, share it openly on a Facebook wall or on your Instagram page saying I feel vulnerable. Let people ask you, why are you feeling vulnerable? What makes you feel like this? Okay, when does something like this happen to you and you think this way? So find out. And yes, please validate your thoughts out of curiosity. Ask yourself, why is there a reason to feel this way? And please tell other people around you you're vulnerable. I also want to again tell you that the school is here to support you. Your friends are here. You could always get in touch with me at any time on my phone number and email address. There is Siddak Singh Bakshi. He wants to ask a question. We will take a question from him also. And just when the ma'am wants to add something.
Yeah, I was mentioning that. Ma'am, stage is yours.
Yes, Harsh, being the counselor, you have handled this very difficult question so very well. But I would certainly like to add something here. See, as you said that you can share it on your Facebook wall, you can talk to your friends on social media. But I would like to ask children who, if they are getting such thoughts repeatedly of self-harm, and they know that they're vulnerable, then who is the closest person to you in your life? First of all, think about that. Who's the person who received you on this earth?
Your parents.
Who's the person who nurtured you? Sadly, if somewhere, I know some unfortunate children might have lost that person in their lives. But then, if mother is not there, father is there, your parents have to be the closest persons to you. Please don't lose this bond with your parents. I think they have the first right to know that their child is upset, that there are thoughts of self-harm coming in her or his mind. This is what I would like to suggest. Talk to your parents first of all, because they will do anything and everything for you to help you out. As ma'am said, your school, your teachers, your peers, your counselor, everybody is there to help you. And yes, take help. But at the same time, you need self-help. You need to help yourself with positive thoughts. There is so much of positivity being discussed here. Children are talking from body image to, developing your good hobbies, how to use this time of lockdown, being away from school. And it's not a competition time, so very well, put by the students. Do not be into any false competition. The life is to be lived. Enjoy every moment of it. Don't be in a competition all the time. Withdraw yourself and have a good set of friends. You may not have many of them around. Maybe just one good friend is more valuable than having, a big fan following on your Instagram, connections, and on your Facebook. You have large number of friends in your list, but those are virtual friends. At times of need, they may not be of that much help as you need. Right? So, not taking more of your time, Arman, I think you can move on to the next.
So the 8th question is how to deal with people who have opposing behavior. I'll repeat the question. How to deal with people who have opposing behavior. That's exactly what they wrote.
Could you please unmute Simrit? She, I think, would like to answer this.
Hi, so I'd like to answer this question by saying that a lot of times,
Simri Didi, you can unmute yourself.
sorry, I like to answer this question by saying a lot of times people with an opposite behavior or behavior that you don't like, or sort of behavior you feel that not something that you would like or something like you are. The thing is that you have to just set aside your perspective, set aside your viewpoint for a minute and just think him or the other person as how is this person enjoying his life? How is it different from me? How better he is, or what's the positive, what's the negative? Get the positives. Try to enjoy like him once, and you know what the positive is. So it will give you a better perspective. It will help you understand the second person's behavior better. Set aside your behavior and accept his, or try to experience theirs. Go a little while with them. That's it. Experience that. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Dee. Let's move on to the next question. And for the next question, I believe, Sonika ma'am, you are the most calmest person on the campus I personally know. So the next question I would like to directly pose to you: how to be calm? How to be calm and stop overthinking, ma'am?
Better to get rid of stress. If I would like to give you my personal example, what I do whenever I feel stressed. Normally I don't feel stressed, but whenever I feel stressed, I start painting, and I have cultivated a lot many hobbies. Painting. I'm not a very good painter, but still I do paint. And gardening. Okay, gardening gives me so much happiness. So basically, what I think that you must realize what gives you happiness. The moment a person realizes what gives the person happiness, it means you have learned the art of living. Okay, and the sooner the better you realize this. Okay, and I feel I'm very happy in my own little space. I'm not a very social person. I never move out of the house, and still I am very happy inside. I'm a very happy soul, let me tell you. Okay, within so much happiness is there, and people sometimes they feel they even ask me that how you remain so happy, and but maybe that's my strategy. That's my strategy of coping with stress, and I never allow any stress to come to me, and I enjoy my own company, I must say that. Okay, and I'm in totally touch with my inner self. I'm totally in touch with my inner self, and I find myself to be the best company. I feel I'm the best company. So for me, not for maybe for anyone else, but for myself. So I think for getting rid of the stress, for keeping away all these negative thoughts, you must realize what gives you happiness. That is the basic art of life. And if you live for other people's expectations, then you will die from their rejection. So basically you have to live for yourself. And would you believe that since the clamping of lockdown, I've not switched on the TV even for a single moment, because that does not give me happiness. No, whatever gives me happiness, I do that only. Okay, so basically that is the strategy I follow to keep calm and stay stress-free.
Now we'll be taking a few public questions. I'd like Bakshi to answer.
Yes, ma'am did raise a very valid point of which is the first person that comes to your mind regarding to a previous question. So I just decided we will drop a safety plan on our school website. Okay, a safety plan, it is a list where you could write people's name, and whenever you have suicidal thoughts or you feel to do self-harm, you could just look at the list and you know that there are people available for you. Okay, so it's a very beautiful technique. We could have a resource for safety list being a safety plan put up on the website too. Okay, so we've covered you from that part. Okay,
In
sorry,
addition
Adnan.
to this, in addition to this, Harsh, what I feel that it's not that when students have thoughts of self-harm that they can actually take the extreme step, but these repeated thoughts are killing their time. They're losing out on their precious time.
Yes.
And they're losing out on their energy, and that's how they start falling back, and then they're lagging behind their peers, and these thoughts, repeated thoughts that they don't match with others, further pull them back. So what I feel, they need such a helpline. I read a very beautiful post few days back where it reads happiness chemicals in the body
Yes.
and how to track them.
Yes.
The first is dopamine.
Dopamine does that, oxytocin does that, yes.
Yeah. Oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin.
Yes.
Now, how to hack your dopamine? It's the reward chemical, right? Completing a task. Give a task to yourself and complete it. You'll feel happy about it because that builds up your sense of achievement, accomplishment. Doing self-care activities. As Kalpa said, start loving yourself. Love the way you look, love the way you feel about yourself, not to make others happy, but be happy with yourself. Sonika Jindal ma'am just now said, I am a happy soul. Inside my body, I am a happy soul. I am happy with myself. I like my company. And so is true for me. Right? Then eating food, and that too food not always of your choice. Right? And then celebrating little wins. If you are able to finish, say, a little task, maybe the homework assigned by your teacher or some task you gave to yourself, it may be like, working out at home or whatever. This will give you the required dopamine. And then the serotonin, the mood stabilizer. Whenever you are in bad mood, do any of these. Meditation, being mindful, being, living in the present, living in the moment, running, jogging, exposure to sun, sitting in the sun, especially in the early morning, not especially in the day, then walking in nature, swimming, cycling, etc. These are all meditating practices which also stabilize your mood. So those who have such thoughts of self-harm should be put into such practice. And I know I'm not teaching Harsh ma'am, I'm talking to children. She already knows it. And so, my dear other colleagues, then playing with your pet. Playing with your dog is, it builds up your oxytocin levels. It's the love hormone. Then playing with a baby, holding hands, hugging some family member, giving compliments. You give a compliment to someone, you make somebody's day, right? And then the painkiller, laughter exercise, some essential oils, then watching a comedy show, even people say dark chocolates, though I don't like, and then exercising, right? So I feel any of these or all of these can be tried, and we should put it, this to-do list for the children. And I'm very happy to share that our newly inducted council has already started sending positive messages every day. They're sharing some news, they're sharing some good thoughts with the children, and they can repeatedly share these good practices also through their posts. Right? Over to you.
All right. So now we'll be taking some public questions. First in line is Siddharth Singh Bakshi. You can raise your question.
So thank you all for recognizing me. I would like to ask a question that a person can't realize about that he is of dark complexion, he is fat, he is small in height, or he is not too handsome. He has many pimples. That is very common. Having pimples is very common in adolescent age. So, but still, many colleagues still are many classmates tease us of having pimples. So, ma'am, why we should not uh, say to others that who make realize others about their anxieties, not they are guiding us. We do not feel a fat person do not feel that he is fat up till he is make realized by a person that he is fat, he is unfit, he can't run so fast.
It's
So
a
my question
very
is over.
Yeah, very relevant question, Siddharth. I really like the way you think, and this is actually what we need to address. We don't need to address to accept ourselves because most people accept themselves. It is only your peers, it is only the environment that you live in that forces you to think that you're not accepted, that forces you to feel that, oh, maybe there is a change. Okay, but we can't change people around us. We can't. So we just have to strengthen ourselves to understand that even if there's pressure from outside, people are telling us that, oh, you are fat, you're thin, you're not beautiful, you're pretty. We have to not even take that. Okay, so we can't change people around us. We can't change positions, but we can change ourselves. And with that change, we only make ourselves stronger. That I embrace myself. So this is something that Gurkiran and Kalpa spoke about. Would you like to add something?
Yes, ma'am. दुनिया की सबसे ज्यादा खूबसूरत लोग, लड़का या लड़की कोई भी, वो जब भी अपने आप को मिरर में देखता है या देखती है, उसे सिर्फ फ्लॉज नजर आते हैं. उसे लगता है इधर शी इज टू थिन, शी इज टू डार्क, मोटी, पतली, स्केलेटन. बट ये सारी चीजें सिर्फ दुनिया के बनाए हुए परफेक्ट फ्लॉलेस ब्यूटी के नोशंस हैं. And we do not need to adhere to these notions. Who defines beautiful? Nobody. We ourselves define what is beautiful. So I think we should stop overthinking about these things and accept ourselves just the way we are.
I would also like लोग तो कहते रहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. So don't listen that you don't accept it.
Thank you, Siddiq, for your question. Very, very relevant. Arman, there's a question in your chat box. Would you read it?
Yep, on it. I wanted to know how to manage time these days. This is asked by, okay, this is anonymous. All right. How to manage time these days?
Okay, this is again a very good question, but I'm not going to answer it. I'm just going to ask you another question. When you have 100 rupees or 500 rupees in your wallet, how well do you know where you've spent it? Okay, 5 rupees for this thing, 100 rupees for toffees or some burger. Then you keep track every night when you lose money, you keep a track of where you've spent it. Okay, and because you value money, you first have to realize and understand the value of time, and only then you'll be able to calculate time. Okay, so it's very simple. If you value time, you will appreciate time. If you don't value time, you will not be able to calculate where you spent it. Okay, so if you want to be able to spend it wisely, then I'd want you to start valuing it. Just be in the moment and realize that this is what you've got. So you could manage time, have a timetable set, give yourself tasks. One of our panelists also spoke about to-do list. Okay, and ma'am said that if you complete a to-do list, if you complete a task, dopamine is released and you feel good. So a lot of things have to do a lot with it's all interrelated. So just value, if you value the money the way you value your time, you'll never waste it.
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Yes, I would like to, Arman, I would like to add to this that habits are not built overnight. Right? It takes a lot of time. And as this audience is all, the students are all in the adolescent age, I think it's time now that you build up your good habits. And then whatever you do repeatedly, it just gets ingrained into your mind. If you are in the habit of, say getting up early and then you're ready with your planner for the day, you do it repeatedly for a week or for 10 days, and people say that whatever you practice for 3 weeks, it becomes your habit. So you have to start somewhere. Don't just keep blaming, oh yaar, oh shit, I keep wasting time. Oh, aaj bhi din kharab chala gaya. Oh, kal se karenge. So that kal will never come. You have to start from somewhere and start with little small things. Keep your planner, plan your next day well in advance, and also decide about the priorities. You cannot have too many things on your priority list. If you're attending online classes, then revising your whatever you have listened to from your teachers, and then your hobbies, and then time for self indulging in say good eating or socializing and all, then prioritize इनमें से सबसे important कौन सी चीज है और वो किस वक्त हो सकती है. Then it is time for your online class. You cannot socialize at that time. Keep time for it, but then understand that it is not the top priority right now. When you keep time for yourself, for your self study, because you want to learn something, very rightly said by Avishka, that you are not reading your books, you're not studying simply to get ahead of others, or simply to prepare for some examination or for some upcoming assessment. You are learning something for all your life. You are making yourself knowledgeable, you are making yourself confident by knowing about your subjects. And if that is your priority and you have kept time for it in your planner, say evening 4 to 6 or night 7 to 9 or 7 to 10, then that is the priority at that time. Forget about other things. Nature has given us 24 hours a day, and that's ample time, for handling lot many things. And I think that will certainly help.
Yes. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Moving on to the next question. I've lost track of the numbers. I pluck my hairs while I'm stressed. That's all they wrote. And that's the question, panel.
Yeah, this is a common response to when students or people, it happens to adolescents, it happens to children as young as 10 years old, it happens to older people also. It's a common thing. It's a basically negative coping strategy and a defense mechanism for treating or handling your stress or anxiety called trichotillomania. Okay, nothing to worry. There's a small therapy for this. It's called habit reversal. So what happens in habit reversal is you understand when is the time when you pick hair. Okay, so a lot of you pick hair, which is a still safer thing. Some people pick skin, some people pick nails, so there's a lot of other things. So you have to understand why is it that you pick your hair. Awareness. Is it only at a certain period या कुछ होने के पहले या होने के बाद? Okay, is it during exam? What we have to take a list of those things. It's called awareness training. After awareness training, you talk to your mother, you talk to your father. If you can't go to a therapist, you ask them, अगली बारी मैं करूँ मुझे बताना, क्योंकि आपको पता नहीं लगता आप कब करने लग जाते हो. So you need somebody to monitorly check you. So when you pick your hair, so let them ask you to stop. Okay, so there are two ways to do it. You either distract yourself by doing something or just stop your thought. So thought stopping or thought distraction would work. After that, there is generalization training. We will फिर इस जो ये coping mechanism है हम उसको fix करते हैं towards a healthier one. So what else can you do? Okay, so you have to keep your hands occupied because in a minute it goes there. You don't even realize it. Okay, so you have to pick up another habit. So HRT, which is habit reversal training, is a very, very well received therapy. You could Google about it. There are free lists available. You could check, and I'm certain within 21 days you'll form a new habit. Okay. We'll take the last question, Arman. There is a question by, Arsh Bansal. No, Arsh, yeah.
Please unmute yourself, sir. Arsh Bansal.
Arsh Kaushik. It's Arsh Kaushik.
I'm unmuted.
Yes, ma'am. It's to principal ma'am. It's my request. Can we have a school council page for counseling?
Am I audible?
Ma'am, you're muted.
Yeah. There are two words. One is the student council and one is council. Which council you are talking about?
No, not the student council page. These mental issues and regarding this, because most of the children are unable to directly approach the teacher, and they can like put up a message anonymously.
We already have Happy Club's page for this.
Yeah, but if somebody wants to anonymously, I really think, Arsh, that's a great idea. I was just talking to Principal Ma'am the other day about having a counseling web page. We are totally on it, and this idea actually wasn't mine, ma'am. It was given to me by Arsh, and he has come directly to you, and I really appreciate. So, this boy, he has gone through UCLA students' material stuff, and so he has studied a lot about. I gave him an assignment to study about how schools are coping up with pandemic because he wanted to
Please
work.
show up.
Arish, can you please show your face?
Just a second.
So
Just a second.
he came up to me and he said, "Ma'am, I want to do something. Can you give me some work?" And I know there's so much reading material, so I gave him some. And he called me at 11:30 in the night and he was like, "Ma'am, हमारा school कुछ miss कर रहा है." And I was like, "What is it?" School counseling page. And I said, "We are on it." So that's Arsh for you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
I'll have to relog in it because I've not granted the permission for the camera.
It's okay, beta. It's okay. No issues. So, see, I don't know technically what you have to do. So, I think the question should go to the school's IT team, and I mean, the students are more net savvy, computer savvy than what I am. But yes, it's go ahead from my side. Right?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
We can have a virtual clap for that.
Yeah, virtual reaction.
I have been doing it.
Doing that, yes. Yes.
Nice.
Then, Arman, can we take the last question?
Yeah. From audience or like the last question?
The last question.
Right. So, for this final one, respected ma'am principal, given your experience and expertise of the subject, and I personally feel that you are the best person to answer this question. How to feel the existence of life?
Are we not alive right now? Are we not, enjoying it? Do we still need a proof of being alive?
No. So the question is. So we want you to answer it because given your experience, I think none of us have experienced the age, and especially the kind of roles you've played. So I think you're the best person to say what is the existence of life, like for what purpose do we live?
See, if you ask me for what purpose I am living, what is the purpose of my life, I may not have, achieved my purpose of life till now, though I'm on the wrong side of 50.
Mm-hmm.
And still I might not have even realized what is the purpose of my life. But if I look back all these years, most of my life I've lived for my loved ones, right? And right from my childhood I have been a very, very obedient child to my parents. I have been a very obedient student in my school. This is what I can recollect. I could never ever dare to annoy any of my teachers. I could put myself in pain. For that, I'll give you one example. With God's grace, मैं गाने में अच्छी थी. And I was a student of vocal music, and every year this language department Punjab, which in Punjabi we call it Pasha Vibhag Punjab, they conduct these vocal music and recitation competitions. And my school teachers, especially my music teacher, Mrs. Inderjeet Kaur, she used to prepare children for participating in this competition. And ma'am will give us so much of practice that I used to develop tonsils in my throat, and those tonsils used to give me so much pain I used to even get fever with that. And I remember twice in my life. Once I was in class 7, and second time I think I was in class 8. My tonsils swelled up so much that it became difficult for me to breathe. And my father rushed me to the local hospital at night, which was like a primary health center type small hospital. And the strongest antibiotic on earth, penicillin, has been given to me twice. And I could never say no to my teacher that I'm sorry, I cannot do more practice. That was my purpose of existence, that my teacher, my school, my principal gets such a happiness out of my winning, my participation and my winning. And it's a record that 5 years in a go, class 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I was the district winner. And once I was state second position holder. So it became like my purpose of life at that point of time. Then studying, completing my education, and then coming to life. And then once I came in job, then it was like giving my best. That is what I learned from my first principal, my mentor, Principal R.S. Patel, that you will earn your name and fame and everything from the classroom. If your students are happy, that will create your name in the city. And I started working for that. I think that became my purpose of life, that be the best teacher of physics. And not just the best teacher in your subject, but be the best teacher then. Then slowly a young teacher starts evolving into a good teacher and then the best teacher. Like, you should always be available to children. And that's how my habit has become now. Like, whatever my children ask for, I'm always yes for it. If I don't have to compromise with the school rules, if I don't have to compromise with the rules our society works on. And that's what I have been doing till now. And in the process, it's like the students win, the teacher remains where he or she is. But with the passage of time, I am finding that what I'm doing, the kind of job, the kind of work God has assigned me, I am making my higher purpose, the high purpose of life, that I am building up so many lives. I'm giving so much of confidence to my students, and I'm giving such a good purpose to my team, all the teachers and non-teaching staff, that we are working for a higher purpose. Even if you are not praying, even if you are not going to a gurdwara or mandir, this school is the biggest temple. That's my higher thoughts. And what after this? One day I'll be leaving this campus, I'll be retiring. What after that? I think I can't do anything better than teaching. That's what I'm made for, and that gives me a lot of happiness. If I'm able to give a sense of accomplishment to so many children, if a failing student is helped at the right moment, if a student is counseled, I haven't kept personally any track record, but I know children who are stressed out, those who are at the verge of harming themselves, taking the extreme step, and if they are helped out and they reach certain levels, they reach their purpose of life, that becomes my happiness. There are two people in your life who are never jealous of your achievements. One, your parents. Second, your teachers. The teachers are always happy at the achievements of their students. I have never ever thought more than this. And if you talk about existence, then being closer to nature, loving music. I don't make music, I enjoy music. I don't sing now, I just love to listen to good music, good soulful, meaningful music, right? and keeping very few priorities in life, not messing up life, trying to live in the moment. This is what I said earlier also. Even if you don't have a very long list of friends, some of the people here know it, that I am a very, very homebound person. I love to be with myself. I love to be with books. Right now I'm sitting in my study room. You can see a lot of books at my back. Right? I haven't read all of them, but I have read most of them. And I love to read. Nowadays I read more on Medium and all. And there are students in this participants right now. I won't name. People who motivate you for certain good things. As Sonika ma'am said that she hasn't watched TV all these days. I don't waste time on Facebook. I quit Facebook on 18 September 2018. But I think I did a good job. I'm still there, but I don't read, I don't post, I don't like, I don't wait for any likes. So socializing is good, but if that puts you into some kind of rat race, then remember, if you're in a rat race, even if you win, you're still a rat, right? So each one of us has to decide our own purpose of life. Go by your own liking. There is no compulsion that everybody around you must like you. God hasn't given these 5 fingers on one hand all alike. These are not of the same shape and same height and all. But each one of them has a purpose. Even if you lose one finger is injured, the hand feels disabled. We feel held up. Right? So we all have some purpose. It takes time to, even realize for yourself what is my calling, what is my purpose of life. But whatever comes your way, I think we must try to give our best to that. Even if you're putting yourself into some trouble, you are, not eating at time, you're missing out your personal time, you don't get time to relax. But through your work, you're giving comfort to others, you are doing your work diligently, and your purpose is achieved. That's what I can say from myself. And enjoy life in all its varied forms around you. फूल, पत्ते, पेड़, पौधे, हरियावल, आसपास सब हरियाली, एंड बारिश की बूंदें, कभी गर्मी का मौसम, कभी पसीना बुरी तरह से. This is all life. Try to enjoy each and every moment. Like these days, I cook food in the evening. मैं घड़ी देख रही हूँ, खाने का टाइम हो रहा है. So when you're cooking in the kitchen, you're sweating badly, and your hair are also so in such bad shape. Most of the days are bad hair days nowadays. But अच्छा लगता है because you're doing it for your family, you're doing it for your loved ones. किसी भी काम से जी ना चुराओ और enjoy करो. Try to give your best, but don't try to be the best always. अपने limits को जितना expand कर सकते हो करो, but not to the breaking point. I teach physics. Elasticity life में रहनी चाहिए. Elasticity relations में रहनी चाहिए. Right? And set priorities. लाइफ में अभी तो आप स्टूडेंट्स हो, आपके लिए प्रायोरिटीज कुछ और हैं. व्हेन यू grown ups, when people get married, when they have small children, तब प्रायोरिटीज कुछ और तरह की होती हैं. लेकिन आपकी जॉब, आपकी हेल्थ, आपकी फैमिली लाइफ, and then social life, and then socializing, and then working for the society, working for some global cause or something. I think वो सब बाद में आता है. अगर पर्सनल घर में शांति नहीं है तो आप वर्ल्ड पीस के लिए क्या करोगे? राइट? आई थिंक दिस इज व्हाट द बुक्स लाइक द सीक्रेट, लाइक अट्रैक्ट्स लाइक. अपने अंदर पीस है तो बाहर भी पीस नजर आएगी. अगर खुद अशांत है तो फिर भाषण तो बहुत अच्छा दिया जा सकता है, लेकिन शांति नहीं आएगी. राइट? So that's all from my side. Thank you. Thank you that you considered me worth answering this question.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. From mantram mulyam guru vakyam to doing your best to finding your own purpose, I totally am very satisfied, and you have put smile on face of everybody in the meeting. I can see right now. So thanks a lot for sharing that experience of the life you just had. I hope we all stay very happy. And now with this, we have reached the end of the webinar. I'd like to thank all panelists, respected Principal Ma'am, Sonika Ma'am and Harsh Ma'am for their presence. I would also like to thank all the audience for their precious time. I hope the ideas, viewpoint and the solutions shared by the panelists get attempted in your own life. I hope after this meeting, you change yourself. Not really, but just a little bit. I hope from a human being, you become really a happy being. That's it for today, guys. Good evening.
Thank you.